Of him, and he's charismatic and he does all these amazing adventures and exploits. But did you know this? He actually thinks people should be working less right now. Yes, in this economy, he is proposing scaling back on the amount we work. Richard Branson has a new book. It's called, quote, "Screw Business as Usual," end quote. He stopped by the studio earlier today to tell me about it in his maverick style, and I used the opportunity to ask him what he thinks about American Airlines filing for bankruptcy. The airline blamed unions. Here's what Branson said.
I think that screwing business as usual should also be, rethinking the way that we do business. And at the moment, you're either in a job working, ridiculous hours, or you're out of a job. There are a lot of people who are in jobs who, if they were run by good company bosses, they would have the courage to say, actually, I'd love to job share. I'd love to go part time. And if they did that, they would make room for, those people who are desperate for a job. And so, my own personal feeling is that government should share all the work that is out there around in times of crisis, so that there's nobody just sitting, at home doing no work. Maybe it means reducing to a 4.5-day work week or something like that. But make sure that everybody has a job, and people might actually quite like having a little bit more time at home with slightly less money.
They would. They'd love that. And actually, I think it's interesting coming from someone like you, because a lot of times when you hear those ideas, people scoff and say, okay, well, 4.5 days a week, then I'm not earning as much money. I can't make my mortgage. There's all kinds of negatives that come with that. But you actually think it could work if done thoughtfully.
Well, I think first of all, you'd ask people to volunteer for it, and you'd be surprised. I mean, we've done market research on it and found 20-25% of people would welcome such a suggestion.
Wow, even in this economy, it's amazing.
Yeah, they're frightened. They're frightened of actually suggesting it, because it'll make people think that they're being lazy. But let's share the work around that there is. If you don't mind, on American Airlines going bust, I mean, it is incredible that in America you have something called Chapter 11. When an oak tree dies, it dies for a good reason. It dies so that new young oak trees can grow up in its place. And in America, when a company goes bankrupt, generally because it's become bloated and inefficient and is not offering great quality for the public, it can just screw its competitors, screw its anyone that it owes money to, and come back into business again. And
go in Chapter 11, wipe out all your contracts, wipe out your labor contracts,
and then make it very difficult for those people it's competing with. I mean, incredibly unfair system. And numerous American airlines do this. I mean, Continental did it 3 times. I won't name names.
I want to say it was 63 or 64 in the past 20 years. We've done the numbers always. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it's a lot of the same airlines again and again.
So but if you change the law and you just simply say, if you mess up, you go bankrupt, like in Europe. If a company is dead, it's dead. And you then just make the room, all those slots. For instance, Virgin America, we can't get slots at JFK. American Airlines most likely will be able to hold on to them, despite the fact that the company's gone bankrupt. So for the new, young, up-and-coming airlines that have got fresh, new ideas, better quality, have not got bogged down with ridiculous overheads, make room for them. And I would urge the American government to think about Chapter 11 and see, is that really in the interest of the American public?
One final question before you go. I remember the first time I flew Virgin. I was 20 and I was going over for my junior year abroad in the UK. And I thought it was so neat, and I got to fly Virgin. And then when I got there, they took us on a little bus tour through London. And this very lovely British lady was, and it was all these American, teenagers, 20-year-old kids, they're going around London, first trip. And so we passed the Virgin Megastore. And she says, so this is the Virgin Megastore, and I think you just launched Virgin Bride or something like that. So she made this comment, and she said, oh, this is the Virgin Bride, and, we have that over here, but I understand they don't have very many of those in America anymore.
Well,
and ever since then, I just wanted to know how you picked the name Virgin for all of your businesses.
Well, Virgin Brides didn't actually do that well, for obvious reasons. But I was 16 when I started in business, and so Virgin seemed appropriate. And I was a virgin in business, so almost every single venture I've gone into, I knew little about it before I went into it, and had to learn about it. Anyway, it was better than Slip Disc Records, which was going to be the name, so Slip Disc Airlines may not have worked very well. So.
Probably wouldn't. Well, anyway, thank you for satisfying my curiosity and for coming in. Nice
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you,
us.
Sir Richard. All right.
Cheers.
All right. The man has a great sense of humor. In addition to being a charismatic trailblazer, here's the picture when he was talking about virgin brides and why it didn't work. Maybe this was why. Yeah, he provided us with this picture. This is a man of courage. That's when he launched Virgin Brides. Okay, before we go, we talked to Chris Chestnut, the attorney for Florida A&M band member Robert Champion's family. Robert Champion, of course, died in